Hi viewers, welcome to my channel The Pathshala. Today I am going to explain about inertia, types of inertia, applications, what is law of inertia. Okay, so let us try to understand what inertia first. Inertia means what? It is nothing but the inability of an object to change its state from rest to motion or motion to rest. What does it mean? Inertia is nothing but inability. Inability means any object, it can't change itself from rest to motion or motion to rest. Okay, so the inability of an object to change its state from rest to motion or motion to rest, we call it as inertia. So it is the characteristic property of each and every object, rigid object. Okay, this we know very well. When an object is kept, if you keep a football on the ground, will it move by itself? No. Unless you give a kick, it can't move itself. So is it changing its rest position to motion by itself? No. Means it is unable to change its state. Then another one, the body which is in motion in a straight line, will it comes to rest by itself? No. If you roll a marble on the ground, it rolls for some time, but it is coming to rest. No ma'am, you may ask in that particular way. But actually, the friction between the floor of the ground and the object, that frictional force stopping the marble. So marble itself which is in motion, it is not coming to rest by itself. So some frictional force is stopping that. If suppose that frictional force is not there, will the marble stops? No. Okay, so that is the characteristic property. If an object is in motion, it will be in motion only. It can't change its state by itself. Object which is at rest, it will be in the rest position only, unless a force moves it or rather mobilizes it. So this characteristic property we call it as inertia. Then what is the law of inertia? Newton has studied this inertia and he has given one law which you call it as Newton's law. What is that Newton's law? Also we call it as first law of Newton, first law of motion, law of inertia, all means the same. What is first law of motion? So just before we discussed about inertia, no? So a body, if it is at rest or in motion in a straight line, a body, if it is at rest or in motion in a straight line, continues its state. It will continue its state. If it is at rest, it will be at rest. If it is in motion, it continues to be in the motion. How far it continues? Unless it is acted upon by some external force. So body which is at rest, if it is acted upon by some external force, then only it moves. The body which is in motion, unless it is acted upon by some external force, it will not comes to rest. Okay, so this is what you call first law. So I'll repeat once again. A body, if it is at rest or in uniform motion, continues to be in its state of rest or motion unless acted upon by some external force. Okay, now let us see the types of inertia. Inertia is of three types: inertia of rest, inertia of motion, inertia of direction. Okay, what is inertia of rest? The body is in rest position only unless it is compelled by some external force. Also, already we discussed, it's a sort of repetition. Where actually we are applying this? Where you feel that? Just before I have given one example, football, when it is placed on the ground, it will be in the there only, in that particular place only, unless you give a kick. Okay, another general example in our day-to-day life. Probably you might have heard about astronauts. And this, it has been shown in a movie also, Gravity movie. So astronauts, what they will be doing? They'll be floating in the air. Yes or no? Can't they move by themselves? Can they able to navigate in that space? No. With the help of propellers or with the help of thrusters only, they can able to navigate. So, okay, these thrusters or propellers, what they will do? They exert force on that particular astronaut, thereby he can able to move. Okay, so all astronauts which are in space stations, they will be in a state of rest. Okay, so probably you might have understood this. Next, inertia of motion. So this probably you might have seen while your father or your uncles and all, while they are driving a car, they'll keep a seat belt. Yes or no? What for that seat belt? Even without seat belt also you can drive, no? If suppose seat belt is not there and he is driving, all of a sudden he saw one fast moving vehicle approaching him. So immediately what he will do? He applies the brakes, na? All of a sudden if the vehicle comes to rest, then what happened to your body, or what happened to your uncle's or father's body? Already it is in motion. It is said to be in inertia of motion. So definitely it moves forward and it may strike the glass which is in front of the car, and he may even hurt also. Yes or no? So to avoid that, we need to put the seat belt. If you keep the seat belt along with the car, our body is in motion. So it has to comes to rest. When it will comes to rest? With the help of that seat belt. Even though if you want to move forward, seat belt, what it will do? It prevents you. Means it is applying some force on our body and it is bringing us to rest position when you apply the brakes. Okay, so that is what you call inertia of motion. So as long as we are in a moving vehicle, our body is in inertia of motion. Okay, then let us talk about inertia of direction. So here any body which is traveling in a particular direction, it will be continuously in the same direction unless again it is acted upon by some external force. Let us suppose you are bicycling, you are moving on a cycle on a straight road. If suppose all of a sudden you have seen one left side turn, then immediately what you will do? You will take a turn, no? Immediately the cycle will be turned. The moment you turn the cycle, of course the cycle turns, then what about your body? You lean. If you are taking left turn, your body turns to right. Why it is due to? Till that time you are traveling in straight line. Okay, your body also traveling along the road in a straight line way. The moment you take the left turn, your body wants to be in the same direction. It wants to maintain the same direction. That is the reason why your cycle is going towards right and your body is leaning towards right. Your bicycle is taking left and your body is taking right. Okay, so in that particular case, your vehicle is of course taking the left turn, but your body is in inertia of direction. So one more example, asteroids. You might have seen asteroids are nothing but rocks which are falling from the outer space. We also call them as shooting stars. Yes or no? So those rocks, they'll be traveling in a particular direction. Okay, if suppose they are not coming across any planet, then what they will do? They travel in their own direction. If suppose they come across any planet, then what happens? Planets, they have the gravitational pull, na? So with that gravitational force, they try to pull that meteor. As a result, what happened to the meteor? It enters the atmosphere. Instead of traveling in its own direction, it takes the direction towards the earth or towards the planet. So there, the inertia of direction is taking place only due to the external force, that is the gravitational force, no? Or else will it reaches the earth? No, it travels in its own direction. Only because of this external force, it is entering into the earth's atmosphere. Okay, so all meteors which are moving in space, they used to travel in a particular direction with their own speeds. Okay, they are said to have inertia of direction. Hope you understand. Thank you.